wipe that off.
What the hell's the topic today?
Well, I was going to. Well, actually, before you asked, I was going to go ahead and remind you of that dream you wanted to talk about, but to answer.
Okay, I had this fucking weird dream.
Yeah.
Dream where, like, you could, like, you were, like, in a constant call with me for like, an extended period of time, right? And you brought me around the house. And I actually ended up talking to your mom. Like, you brought me to the freaking kitchen where your mom was. All of a sudden, your mom was talking to me. And surprisingly, we got along, actually. Like, I wasn't telling her who I was. Basically, just briefly small talk, like, whatever, this, this. And then she's like, who are you? And then I'm like, I just hang up. She asked that.
Right when you got to "Who are you?" I expected it to take a way more surreal turn.
No, because like, in my head, she's starting to be in character in my dream, right?
Yeah.
Not in character because she's a person.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been astral projecting with us too.
Yeah, basically. Even for Star Wars.
Yep. Anyway.
But no, basically, because I knew as soon as I told her who I was, she probably be screaming at me, just like James. Or I don't know.
Probably, I don't know.
I don't know, because we were actually getting along.
Yeah.
And like, literally, I woke up and I thought it was real. I was texting, hey, I actually hit it off with your mom, And then, like, like, oh wait, that was a dream.
Yeah. Do you?
I was about to tell Roy that too, and I was like, I was like, hey, babe, I hit it off with Jesse's mom. I'm like, wait, what? And luckily, I remembered it was only a dream before I could say to him.
Do you know how bad it would have mentally done me over if you had just DM'd me this morning? Hey, I hit it off with your mom. Without saying in a dream.
One sec. Wait, not with my mom?
Yeah, God, I would have. Lord.
Imagine if you asked that question to your mom and your dad heard it.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh God.
I potentially saved a freaking. Your mom's cheating on your dad with me. I'm just kidding. How old is your mom?
God, she was born in '80s, so she's like
46. Okay.
Yeah. Assuming I even got the year right.
About 46.
Yeah.
Well, basically, not the worst age gap, but like
Not
a little predatory. little predatory on her part, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not really because I'm already 30.
Yeah.
But if I was like 25 or younger,
Then.
and she was with me, then yeah, that'd be pretty predatory.
Yeah. Then you could have a seat right over there.
That don't mean she could have a seat because.
Yeah, I'm.
It was like 46.
Yeah. This has been me getting it backwards, episode too many.
But anyway, what are we reviewing?
Anyway, now that we got that out the way, to answer the question, as I catch
hopefully something short, because I'm in a fucking mood.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
No. I'm in a mood, but yeah.
Yeah. I never said I was in a bad mood.
Well, on that note, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Remember that time the soup went away and then it returned? Anyway, Superman Returns, or as I'm just going to keep calling it, Soup Returns.
But I was Soup Returned.
Yeah, is a 2006 American superhero film, the most normal combination of words I have read in a long time. Of course, based on the character Superman, because what did you expect this to be based on? O'Reilly's Auto Parts? Anyway, the film was directed by Bryan Singer and written by Michael Daugherty. Did I say that correctly? I don't fucking know. And Dan Harris. From a story by Singer, Daugherty, and Harris. Not sure why you even need to tell us that, because we just read their name, whatever. I'm stupid. Anyway. Instead of Kamala Harris, I'm speaking. It's I'm stupid. Anyway. It also served as an homage sequel to Superman and Superman 2, ignoring the events of Superman 3, Supergirl, and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Oddly topical, by the way, because James Gunn is probably being taken out back and shot as we speak. Because, oh god, Supergirl, the new one, is apparently terrible.
Oh, it is?
Apparently. I haven't seen it, but...
Oh, is it out?
Yeah. Just came out 2 days ago. The fact Jackass Best and Last is getting great reviews, but Supergirl isn't, ironically sounds like a Jackass bit in of itself.
I'm gonna fucking check Wikipedia and fucking spoil the plot in real time.
Oh, Jesus. It's especially funny to me because Jackass Best and Last really is just a clip show of old shit. But anyway, this shit, which is also ironically old, stars Brandon Routh as Superman, of course replacing Mr. I'm Dead.
Jesse. Brandon Routh.
Oh, Ralph. Me being... There's only so many times I can confirm that I'm stupid before I genuinely just blow my shit smooth off on camera. Anyway. Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane, and Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. Along with James Marsden, Frank Langella, Eva Mary Saint, and Parker Posey in supporting roles.
Hell Saint.
Yeah. Side note, I am not used to seeing Frank Langella...
Oh, it's at 56%.
Oh.
Mr. Cock.
Yeah. Side note, I am not used to seeing Frank Langella with a normal face. Anyway.
Oh, a clay face you made? A clay face?
You know, the future of the DCU really hinges on both Man of Tomorrow and Clayface.
But they
Also,
won't care.
yeah. Also, side note, I know that cinematic universe movies already don't come out in order, and that's perfectly fine. But why the fuck are we getting a Clayface movie in this universe before a Batman movie?
Yeah.
I'll take that as a reply to what I just said. Anyway,
Speed it up, Jesse.
speed it up, even though I know what you're gonna do. Anyway, I'll still make an effort. In the film, Superman returns to Earth after 5 years, which, yeah, he leaves Earth in the 70s, and 5 years later, it's suddenly the 2000s. That tracks. And discovers that his love interest, Lois Lane, has moved on from him, and that his archenemy, Lex Luthor, is planning to kill him and reshape North America. I mean, that happens to all of us, don't you know? We all go through our own little time skip arc.
Yeah.
I mean, I should know. James is arguably becoming a bigger faggot than I am. Anyway.
Wait, really?
Was the makeup not anything to go by?
I mean, the makeup doesn't really mean anything.
I mean, you're right. Partial.
Okay. Yeah, we are freaking judgmental.
Yeah. This has been me making a joke, thinking it's funny, and then realizing the joke was held together by glue. Anyway. And not even Gorilla Glue, but the glue that Danny DeVito was using in Matilda. Anyway. The film was produced by too many motherfucking companies because it wouldn't be a comic book movie if it took one studio. To be more precise, Warner Bros., legendary Bad Hat Harry, and Peters Entertainment. Bad Hat Harry. That's like naming your bicycle shop Murderin' Ted's Bike Bonanza. Anyway. That stupid film premiered June 21st, 2006 in Los Angeles, and it released everywhere else, at least in the US, on June 28th, 2006. Wowie zowie.
Yeah, we're going to skip most of the production.
Well, yeah, most of it. Besides, the production is basically summarized right here next to the piece of shit cock. Oh, yeah, but if you're dying to know,
Mid. This movie's kind of mid.
That's the short. Anyway, but if you're dying to cure, yeah, that is definitely my sign to speed it up when I start talking like goddamn Joe Biden. Anyway, if you're curious, though, the film had a budget of about $204 million, made about $391.1 million.
Oops.
Not the biggest disaster, but
yeah.
Anyway, thankfully the production is summarized in a very short form right here as I'm looking at it. After a series of unsuccessful Superman projects following the quest... Let me try that again. After a series of unsuccessful projects to resurrect Super... Oh.
I'll be back in a sec. I'll be back in a sec. I'll be back in a sec.
I'll be second aback. Nice day for it, isn't it? Well, anyway, shit for brains. As I was saying, after a series of unsuccessful projects to resurrect the Superman anything, following the critical and financial failure of The Quest for Peace, though I'm going to be honest, I feel like Masters of the Universe kind of indirectly contributed to that, but that's a story for another time. Warner Bros. Hired Singer to direct Superman Returns in July 2004. I mean, unless somebody got shot on set the Crow style, I think that's about all we need to know about the production. Oh yeah, I guess Marlon Brando also appears posthumously, or humus, however you say it, but okay. Says me and Lex. Monkey syndrome. Symptoms? Monkey. So anyway. Let me fix my fucking hair. Anyway. Oh, actually, you know what? We joke about 9/11 enough, so let me just get this out of the way. Early versions of the script contained references to the September 11th attacks before they were removed. It's always 9/11 that they cut out of these movies. Well, anyway. Oh. I guess before we get to that motherfucking reception, I guess we can tack this on. Bryan Singer convinced Warner Bros. Not to experiment with test screenings. In addition, Singer removed about 15 minutes of footage from Superman Returns after showing it to his trusted associates. And I would, with any other movie, I would typically say release that unseen footage. But considering this movie already clocks in at an hour, or at 2 hours and 34 minutes, I don't think we were missing anything with those 15 extra minutes. In fact, I think those 15 extra minutes might have actually made this movie run even slower. With that out of the way, with that out of the way, journalists have described its reception as lukewarm, as opposed to hot cold. Anyway, on good old Rotten Tomatoes, Superman Returns has an approval rating of 72% based on 290 reviews and an average rating of 7 out of 10, 0 to 54. Yippee. The consensus reads, Bryan Singer's reverent and visually adaptation gives the Man of Steel welcome emotional complexity. The result, a satisfying stick-to-your-ribs adaptation. Were you reviewing a movie, or were you reviewing a bucket of chicken from KFC? Because I think everything I just read could either be a movie review or a food review. So anyway, on that bitch-ass Metacritic, the film has a score of 72 out of 100 based on 40 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews, 0 to 54. Audiences polled by that us-so-bitch-ass Cinema Score gave it the average grade of B+ on the A+ to F scale. Richard Corliss, I think that's how you say that, of Time, praised Superman Returns, calling it one of the best superhero films. He was mostly impressed with Singer's direction and the storyline. I mean, yeah. Anyway. Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal also gave a positive review, but observed Routh and Bosworth's acting as somewhat dead or super average. Nothing special. That's basically the polite way of saying you can't act worth a shit. Morgenstern believed, also, I love that Morgenstern sounds like the name of a law office. Anyway, Morgenstern believed Lex Luthor's characterization was well written by the writers and well played by Kevin Spacey. That is probably the only time I will ever hear anybody ever say that.
It was 2006.
What?
This was 2006.
Well, I mean, yeah. You went so dead quiet that I honestly thought you fell asleep.
No.
Okay, good to know. Anyway, Peter Travers felt that the film perfectly updates Superman for the modern audience. I mean, yeah. However, Roger Ebert argued the film was a glum, lackluster movie in which even the big effect sequences seem doubtful. And no, I'm not horribly misreading the word doubtful. I don't use Truth Social every night. Instead of exhilarating. He also felt Brendan Routh lacks charisma as Superman, surmising that he may have been cast because he just simply looks a little like Reeve. Well, gee, Robert, what was your first clue? Mick LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle felt that Warner Bros. Should have rebooted the series along the lines of Batman Begins. Kind of funny that was a year before this. He also felt that Bosworth, at 22 years old, was too young to portray Lois Lane, and that the climax did not match the potential of the tiring 154-minute-long film. I mean, yeah. And the last one I'm going to read. On May 3rd, 2009, almost 3 years after the debut of this film, Quentin Tarantino, because it all comes back to him somehow, declared his appreciation for Bryan Singer's directorial work on Superman Returns, and that he would write a 20-page review about the film, as opposed to my one-page crash outs. Anyway. But what about both home video and this film's lack of a future? Well, Superman Returns debuted on DVD, Blu-ray, and yes, even HD DVD. Yes, it was really on both HD formats on November 28th, 2006. The DVD The DVD was released as both a single disc, movie-only edition, and a 2-disc edition with over 3 hours of behind-the-scenes features. Said features, I imagine, were also on both the Blu-ray and the HD DVD. That same day, a 14-disc DVD box set titled Superman Ultimate Collector's Edition was released, containing special editions of all 5 Superman films at the time, as well as the documentary Look Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman. And in terms of home video, that's basically it. As I show the DVD, that's basically it. There hasn't really been any further... I mean, I'm sure it's been reprinted, obviously, to get more copies in circulation, but there haven't been any, like, subsequent special editions or anniversary editions or a 4K, just... here's the same DVD Blu-ray from 2006. I mean, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plus, I mean, I'm not going to be, like, crying any tears if they don't put out, like, some big, stupid special collector's edition of this one. Anyway. Canceled sequel, because Twitter just remembered that Circle 7 was going to do Toy Story 3 at some point, but we're not here to discuss that. Anyway. In February 2006, 4 months before the release of Superman Returns, Warner Bros. Announced a mid-2009 theatrical release date for a sequel, with Bryan Singer, of course, returning to direct, and the cast returning to be the cast. However, due to his commitment, Singer dropped out of directing, or due to his commitment, Singer dropped out of directing a remake of Logan's Run, and an adaptation of The Mayor of Castro Street in favor of this. The writer, Michael Daugherty, wanted the sequel to be action-packed, featuring other Kryptonians and Brainiac. Notice it's always the Superman movies with Brainiac that get canceled. Anyway. Excuse me. The new Krypton landmass floating in space at the end of Superman Returns also would have served as a plot device. Anyway, guess what didn't happen? Any of what I just said. Because following... Because, well, it was the 9th highest grossing film of 2006, which might sound impressive. You know, it's in the top 10, but it's at number 9. And in tandem, Warner Bros. Was disappointed with the worldwide box office return, and as such, canceled the sequel. A movie studio setting up a potential franchise and canceling a sequel that was in the works due to those disappointing box office returns and or disappointing critical reception. Where have I heard that before? Sounds oddly familiar, doesn't it? Also, even though it's been like 4 years since the last Halloween, can we just let Halloween fucking rest? Anyway. So this movie. Plain and simple. It's fine. It's just fine. I mean, I guess as a sort of pseudo-sequel, I mean, I kind of consider it half sequel, half reboot anyway, because it does not entirely line up with the first two at all, but I guess as just a pseudo half sequel, half reboot, it's fine. It's actually not half bad. As a Superman movie, it's good, but also kind of mid. I mean, the cast is good. It doesn't make me want to gouge my eyeballs out. It did kind of make me question my life choices earlier, though, because honest to God, when I was rewatching it earlier, I forgot that it was 2.5 hours long, and I was like, oh my God. By the halfway point, I was like, surely this is the end of the movie. Oh, there's another hour remaining? Great. This could have easily been like 2 hours, 10 minutes. It did not need to be 2 hours, 34. Like I said earlier, those 15 minutes that were cut probably would not have helped. I would say if there are any negatives, but honestly, I already kind of just said the big one, the runtime. It's just too damn long. And I guess, I don't know. I don't know. Technically, this did end up being a shorter one because I just don't have a whole lot to really say on this movie that can't be summarized outside of, I mean, it's pretty good, but also pretty mid. The Flash is a terrible movie, but at least The Flash has stuff going on that I can comment on.
The one scene I like in Superman Returns, it's the bank robbery scene.
Well, yeah, that one's pretty good.
And the score?
Yeah, that too. Actually, yeah. Yeah, you know what? The score's really good in this movie. Mid movies can still have a great score. Actually, you know what? Because I did just bring up The Flash, I guess I would still rather, even though this one is just kind of like nothing, I would honestly still rather watch this over like the last couple years of DC. If I'm gonna be completely honest. Shit, because I still have it on standby and haven't put it away yet, I would still rather watch the Rob Zombie Halloweens than... God. You look like a mix of Joe Biden and Thunderbolt Ross. Anyway, I guess I'll... It's like a solid...
I don't know what I'm going to rate it. I haven't seen it in years.
I mean, if you haven't seen it in years, then not knowing what to rate it is fair game. Honestly, Honestly, I would say it's either a solid 3 out of 5 or at the highest a 3.5, but no higher than that. Superman 5, The Quest for Mid. I guess I'll put this away now. Onto the shelf it goes, never to be watched. Well, never to be watched for at least the remainder of this year until God decides to rain a lot again. I could have rewatched Dogma for 2 hours, but instead I did this. What's wrong with me? Anyway, that was fun. In you go. Alright. The heck? Oh. Thought something was wrong with the chair for a minute. I love thinking. I'm beginning to think.
So what'd you rate it?
I said it was somewhere between a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5. Somewhere in that ballpark. Hey, copy. Oh, wow. Saul.
Do people watch you too closely?
Yeah, YouTube.
Do people watch you too closely? Are they always up in your business judging you? Is it getting so you can't do your thing without them constantly complaining about your behavior or morality? Hi, I'm Saul Goodman, and believe me, I can relate. So I'd like to pass along a pro tip learned from a magician client of mine. It's called misdirection. How does misdirection work? Well, let me give you a little example. Where's the Bluetooth, huh? Watch it closely. Watch it closely. Is it in the right hand, the left hand, right, left, huh? See? So effective. And so many uses. Now, practice makes perfect. You keep in mind that the true greats, they spend every day of their lives perfecting this talent. But if you stick with it, pretty soon you'll have folks so snowed, they won't know whether they're coming or going. But for the love of Mike, remember, a good magician never gives away his secrets.
I'm Mike, and I do not approve this message.
How to pick a lock.
How to pick a lock. Using this method, you will be able to pick open any lock in seconds using just a paper clip. This method works on all locks, no matter how small, big, or complex the lock mechanism is. No lock is pick-proof. They all can be picked with ease. Please note this video is for educational purposes only. Using this lock picking method for any illegal activity is prohibited. This is only intended for use on your own property. All you need is a lock and a paper clip. Step 1. Prepare the paper clip. Unfold one side of the paper clip and extend it fully out. Try to make it as straight as possible. This will greatly reduce the time it takes to pick the lock. Step 2. Picking the lock. Insert the unfolded paper clip into the bottom end of the lock. Push it in as far as it will go. Begin turning the paper clip in a clockwise circular motion. Keep turning for approximately 20 seconds and the lock will crack open.
Good lord. Jesus Christ.
There are many ways to open a lock. The most effective techniques are using a paperclip, using a saw, hitting it with a hammer, hitting it with a spade, blowtorching it, smashing plates onto it, cooking it into a chicken, and freezing it. If all that doesn't work, try the following. Grab an egg and crack it onto the lock. Perfect. It's now unlocked.
Oh my god.
Perfect. It's now unlocked. If the egg technique didn't work, simply unlock it with the key that came with the padlock. Simply unlock it with the key that came with the padlock. If that didn't work, you're thanks for watching.
Dick.
Yeah.
Jared from Subway.
Sarah from Jubway.
Sarah from Subway.
There was a time where mascots were every those big ass monster pigs.
Sandwiches. Here is Jared Fogle. You may have seen him on the news or a talk show. He was inspired by Subway's breakfast sandwiches. Jared believes in an active lifestyle, including lots of walking. At the heart of Jared's routine are Subway sandwiches.
Remember Jared from Subway?
At Subway, you can choose from 7 sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less, and they all taste great. Food for thought.
Jared had the cream of the crop opportunity. All he had to do was just stand there, smile, hold up those big ass monster pans. But he couldn't even do that. Jared ended his career the same way he started it, trying to get into smaller pans. Today we're talking about the rise and fall of Jared Fogle.
We're talking about some very disturbing content today.
Now, Jared Fogle was born in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1977. And like any kid at the time, he loved video games. So much so that he would sit there for hours playing his Nintendo, eating chips and sweets, and just being lazy. And it got to the point where when he attended Indiana University, he weighed an impressive 425 pounds. Now, on an average day, Jared would drink up to 15 cans of soda while also inhaling 10,000 calories. Jared was unable to walk around campus. He couldn't keep up with the kids. So as a New Year's resolution, Jared was going to lose some weight and choose to start eating right at Subway because, as he put it, he lived 10 steps away from the nearest Subway. He started eating his 2 sandwiches a day, exercising a bit more, and surprisingly, within 11 months, he'd actually lost 245 pounds. He literally became half the man he was, losing more than half of his body weight. Now, people started to notice Jared's insane weight loss. One of his roommates wrote a piece about him that landed Jared on the front page of the school newspaper in April 1999. And then miraculously, Men's Health picked up the story and headlined Jared in an article called Stupid Diets That Work. And from that point, the Jared diet became a phenomenon. Now, executives at Subway caught wind of the story and they saw dollar signs within the Jared diet. So right out of school, at 22 years old, Subway struck a deal with Jared that would change his life forever. They were going to pay him $1.1 million a year to be the celebrity endorser for Subway. So they started
Oxford appearance. Jared, he had become a millionaire before the age of 25. Now, I can't understate how much Jared had a cultural impact. He was grand marshaling NASCAR races. Jimmy Fallon played him in an SNL parody skit, and he carried the 2002 Olympic torch through Indiana. And he was the centerpiece of a South Park episode. Well, eating sub sandwiches was a big part of it. But the way that I lost so much weight was that I got AIDS. And Jared, who'd been kind of a loser and never had a date before in his life, had gotten hitched to a pediatric nurse and was in a happy, dependable, loving marriage. It wasn't all roses, though. There were some criticisms. It was discovered by doctors and nutritionists that the Jared diet was actually just a 1,000-calorie-a-day diet.
I'm on the Subway diet. She just orders whatever she wants from Subway whenever she feels like it. It doesn't work that way.
AKA starving yourself to death. So Subway then legally had to put disclaimers in all of their ads stating, talk to a doctor first. Then they had to issue a statement saying that Subway didn't even endorse the Jared diet because he was literally just eating 2 6-inch subs a day, skipping breakfast, working out. Now for Subway, this was insane. They were going to base their entire brand identity on some random guy from Indiana who had some weight loss story eating their sugar sandwiches. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Delicious. I do it all the time.
But to Subway, this was a great idea at the time. Just within 10 years of Jared being there, he had tripled Subway's yearly revenue from $3.1 billion to $11.4 billion. Or as the chief marketing officer of Subway said, Jared is woven into the fabric of the brand and is a central part of the family. That's not going to come back to bite him in the ass.
Hide your kids.
What a great fit for Subway and to team up with Little League and with these kids that are so impressionable early on in their life.
People to do is to go on the internet, go to subwaykids.com. Subwaykids.com. There's a link on there that you can start bidding on these balls.
The more League, the
Oh,
more you're
God.
impressed with the things they're doing with these younger kids.
Maybe on my hands and knees. Subway.
Now with Jared's fame, let's get back to the
What is that, like a YouTube poop?
Going right to hell for laughing at that.
community. So he started a foundation in 2004 to fight childhood obesity, where they would go into elementary schools and high schools and educate children on eating fresh.
In 2004, Vogel established the Jared Foundation, an organization aimed at eliminating childhood obesity. In 2006, RTV6 interviewed Vogel as he hosted a charity outing with Hoosier Children, the Boys and Girls Club of Indianapolis, calling him a role model.
And honestly, it's a pretty worthy cause, helping kids get healthy. Who would really know better than Jared, the guy that lost 245 pounds? Jared was then traveling to hundreds of elementary schools a year, showing off those size 60 jeans, wowing children across the nation, making visits from the foundation on Oprah, the Today Show, the Super Bowl. Jared even said at this time, I'm surprised by 15 minutes of fame aren't up yet. And again, with the foundation, it wasn't really what it was cracked up to be. The whole foundation really was more of an image enhancement for Jared, judging from their spending. The charity raised $650,000 between 08 and 2013, but it only just donated $145,000 to fight obesity in that same time period. The foundation paid more out to its director than it did actually spending promoting the health of children. So sure, celebrity makes some scammy charity that just promote their own image. What is new, really? But what the foundation did do was this put Jared in a position where he could have access to children. At this point in Jared's life, he was on top of the world, on top of the town, had millions of dollars. So Jared started to indulge himself. He started having some affairs outside of his marriage. You had one woman, Rochelle, who he met through a radio interview. They would go on these romantic getaways. Then there was Subway store owners, Jared groupies, all who he was hooking up with. And Jared was living the high life until Now, 2007 was a pretty bad year for Jared. You had the recession, the economy crashing, and Subway was kind of feeling that this whole Jared story was pretty played out. They had done it for almost a decade at this point. So, they decided to go in a new advertising direction. Jared could still remain visible on the whole touring circuit and whatnot, but the TV commercials, they'd be gone in favor of Subway's new famous $5 footlong ad. Now, cracks really started to show at this point. That happy marriage he had, it was really a shame. His wife actually fled the marriage after 5 years and even filed a restraining order against Jared, saying that he had become controlling and had a mean streak in him. Interesting enough, when his wife filed for divorce, the reason she gave was that the marriage was irretrievable. after the game, the two headed to a strip club where they got into the champagne poppy room. And then Jailer asked Taylor, if you can convince that stripper to come back to our hotel room, I will pay you. And like a good friend, Taylor brought that stripper back to the room where Jared and him had sex with her. And that began her 12-year run. That's what Taylor said from his court psychological report linked below. Now, with Taylor helping out with the Fogle Foundation, Jared actually hired him and promoted him to the executive head of the foundation. And that point, the two became inseparable. Now they were traveling across the country and even the world, filming the schools, giving these healthy eating presentations, the children all around the earth.
People are always fascinated to see the pants. It's a great visual aid, especially when I'm talking to kids. I speak to children all over this country and actually all over the world now.
Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, and how could I forget? During the night, they would party their faces off and get prostitutes to sleep with. And then once they found out they weren't law enforcement, they would then ask them if they had any underage escorts available, which then they would do their thing with. Now with these two out of the town going on these trips, Taylor got a bit paranoid about people stealing stuff from the Fogle Foundation office. So in an effort to avoid anything happening, he started placing hidden cameras around the office. So they come back from a trip, and the first thing Taylor does is review some of the video on the camera. And what he found was shocking. He had captured the underage intern and her boyfriend having sex in the office. Now Taylor brought this up to Jared to possibly maybe reprimand this girl, but Jared wants to see the tape in full. And while he was showing this video, Jared actually pushed them to set up more hidden cameras around the office and into children's bathrooms. And at first, Taylor thought maybe this was some weird joke. Now Taylor brushes it off, and a couple of months go by at this point. Now Jared started buying Taylor a lot more things. He bought him a home that Taylor lived in for free. Bought him a Mercedes-Benz, paid for all of his family's expenses. Now what he was putting Taylor in was what's called golden handcuffs. Now months later, Jared comes up to Taylor and asks him again if he'll place these hidden cameras. And he reminded him that this is from the court documents. Jared Fogle literally said this to Taylor. Daddy is paying for your things. Jared Fogle called himself Daddy. So locked in these golden handcuffs, Taylor would become the Ghislaine Maxwell to Jared Fogle. The fall guy that would do all the dirty business. So Taylor then started placing these hidden clock camera radios in children's bedrooms across the city. They were capturing photos and videos of children ages 6 to 12 while they were changing their clothes naked. Now let me be clear, they weren't taking any videos of any acts being performed on the children. It was just the kids being nude while changing their clothes. And this is an important point for the end of the video when we go into the court case. Now Taylor didn't show any of these to anyone but Jared. Their program would work where Taylor would go around, collect all the photos and videos, review them for the best ones, hook them onto a laptop, give that laptop to Jared for him to only bring it back a week later. Now I'm not kidding, this is from the court-ordered psychological report. Jared Fogle would say, Daddy needs some pictures. Now once this operation was underway, Jared started upping the ante. He wanted better quality videos and photos, so he started purchasing professional spy equipment that Taylor would then start placing across children's bedrooms across the city, and no one knew. Now it's a couple years later, it's 2010. Jared, in an attempt to maybe slow down, finds a adult woman that he gets married to in 2010. Now maybe this whole underage escorts and depravities would go away. No, the temptation was still there for Jared. Even with him getting all of the CP from their hidden camera racket, he still wanted more good films to add to his collection. So remember Rochelle, that late night radio host he was hooking up with? So even with his new second wife, Jared was still having an affair with her. So she became suspicious of Jared one day.
That he thought that middle school girls were so hot.
Saying how he found middle school girls attractive. And this shocked Rochelle to her core. So she ended up baiting him along a little bit further and started recording them, seeing what she could get out of them. I can't actually play the actual audio because it is copyrighted, but I will link it below. But honestly, it's nothing super crazy. I'm gonna read it right now. I like all ages, that's the thing. I mean, it depends who's ready for what, you know? Who's gonna give you the glance. So Rochelle amassed years worth of these recordings of Jared saying this. And Rochelle finally reached the breaking point when Fogle mentioned her to the young children. And he asked her, what if we put a camera in your kid's room? They
Damn.
okay with that. Would you rather have it in your son or your daughter's room? Which one do you think would be better? Now remember, she was sleeping with Jared this whole time and knew this, that he was into underage people. But that last part, that was the tipping point. Other kids, that's fine. But her kids, out of line. So Rochelle filed a serious complaint with the FBI in 2011. So the FBI couldn't do much about it because it's audio evidence. There wasn't actually enough to even put him cars, convict them, or even get a search warrant. Now, in multiple interviews, Rochelle has claimed that she was the woman that brought down Jared Fogle, and that the FBI used her as an informant, and that she wore a wire and took him down. Well, I find that hard to believe because, number one, the FBI has not confirmed any of these recordings. Number two, they weren't actually used in the court case. And number three, why would the FBI put a wire on her for years, record all this stuff, and then not do anything about it until way later in the future? We're talking 7 years. Makes no sense, but let's continue. So Russell Taylor and his wife lived alternative lifestyles. They were swingers. Basically people who would have sex with other people outside the marriage and also within orgies. Now Taylor had sex with several of his guy friends, girlfriends, and his neighbors. Now one of the women from Taylor's neighborhood orgies, or we will call her Jane Doe from the court documents. So their friendship took a disturbing turn in 2014 when Taylor, who often talked to her sexually and friendly over texting, went over the line. Russell Taylor offered to send this Jane Doe images of CP. This was disturbing, right? So Jane Doe made a call to the police, and her report from there was passed off to the cybercrime and unit detectives, and an investigation was launched in 2014 into Russell Taylor. So on the basis of all these texts, the police had enough to execute a search warrant from Taylor's home. So they went to arrested him, and
FBI, open up!
FBI, open
what
up!
they found there was so disturbing. I'm not even going to get into it, but it was terabytes and it was equipment. So once in custody with the evidence they had, this seemed like an open and shut case, really. Except when Taylor told the police a story that they didn't even believe. All these videos, all this equipment, it wasn't for him. It was for his boss, Jared Fogle, the spokesperson for Subway. Now, quietly behind the scenes, the police started to look into this further, and they started finding little bits of threads that were leading back to Jared. Now, on the outside, though, every news outlet picked up the story. Head guy of Jared Fogle's foundation distributing CP. And Jared came out publicly as shocked and put out a statement saying, "We cut all ties with Russell Taylor." And Jared continued to post his diet tips on Twitter, posting up updates on Facebook, living as if nothing would happen to him, because that was the plan. Russell Taylor was always meant to be the fall guy.
These guys are pretending to fall for it every single time. There must be like 100 million episodes of the show, and these guys still pull them.
Hey, girl, wanted to talk.
Days after the raid on Russell Taylor's house in July 2015 at 6 a.m., investigators raided Jared's home with one of the top mobile cyber forensic teams in the country. So they had police dogs that had the ability to sniff out for hidden thumb drives in the walls.
But Bear is anything but your typical family dog.
They found SD cards, thumb drives, external hard drives, iPads, micro SD cards.
And they found 2 of them hidden at Jared's house that were Eastern European CP. Now Subway immediately dropped them. Sharknado 3, which he was going to be in, they dropped him. His wife divorced him. And of course, once this ugly truth came out, people were not only quick to denounce Fogle, but they grew skeptical of Subway. Like, how could no one have known this? So, the Jared had been making incredibly creepy comments for a while. To a lot of people, if he talked so openly with Rochelle, it's really no surprise he did this with other people too. So back in 2004, Subway's senior vice president of marketing received a complaint about Fogle that he had tried to solicit an underage girl at a Las Vegas promo event. Then in 2008, a Florida Subway franchisee warned the then CEO of Subway, Jeff Moody, about Jared making disturbing comments about kids. But Moody apparently said, quote, "There was nothing that implied any sexual behavior about Taylor on the remaining 10 felony charges, both of whom are still in prison at this time." The story of Jared Fogle and Russell Taylor is one of the most disgusting stories I have seen in a long time. You have an entire sham foundation set up to just take advantage of underage children who cannot consent to anything being done to them. It is the absolute lowest of the low. And I think with this new court case of Russell Taylor, I hope that he gets the same sense that he did before, if not worse, even with these 3 charges being dropped. Now, Jared Fogle's rise and fall is almost a work of fiction. An everyday Joe picked from normal life because of a simple weight loss story. His entire career that he was paid millions for was...
Damn.
You know what, Jesse?
Or what?
Was that AI?
SO. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, that's real.
Real?
Real. I mean, controlled, but real. I mean, they do that, but probably AI. Yeah. Kitty, no. Gonna bet on real.
What?
Gonna
That
be.
is real.
Oh, clearly AI. Real. Meanie weenie. Jesus.
That was a bite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ow.
Meanie.
Я сижу читаю, что ты хочешь?
I got hold of a sec.
Okay. Oops. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Your mom.
Yep.
The Della.
Yep.
The nigga.
Hmm.
Oh no, it's fine.
Oh no, toilet.
Toilet. Oh no. Toilet.
So
Yeah.
stupid. Yay.
Ah. Oh no. Toilet. Ah.
Oh no, toilet. Toilet.
Oh. Oh no.
Toilet.
Toilet.
Toilet. Which one do you How did they even set this up?
That's what I'm out here thinking. Like,
Oh no.
oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh. Well, that was close.
Oh.
You're gonna hit now.
Die.
Oh no.
Toilet. Bathtub.
Oh no. What is it in there? Like cleaner?
Why does it look like period blood?
Looks like Jello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Toilet.
That's
Die.
yeah, toilet.
Toilet. Ah, ah.
Toilet. Oh no, oven.
Oh no. Not the oven.
I like how there's pots and pans on there.
Yeah. Just noticed that.
Toilet, no. Toilet.
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 Toilet. Ah, ah. Not the piss
Toilet.
everywhere. Oven.
What else is going on? TV toilet.
TV toilet. T-
Oh no.
my
Toilet.
This is so dumb.
Toilet TV.
Tivity toilet.
Tivity, toilet, Tivity, top, 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 top. Toilet.
Toilet. Die.
We have fucking brain rot, right?
Yep. Toilet. Die. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Toilet.
Oh no, Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
Oh no. Oh no, kid versus cat.
Oh no.
Oh no, drowned in shit.
Drowned.
Oh no, this is illegal.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That.
Toilet.
Toilet.
Oh no, toilet.
This is so. Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we have another.
Toilet.
Do you want to watch Skibidi Toilet Season 1?
Oh god.
What the heck is going on? What the heck? This mustache is ridiculous. Get away from me!
Hey, I'm one of the good guys. Coca-Cola versus the Walmart dupe. The 2-liter bottle of OG is selling for
1.1 cents per ounce, while the same 2-liter bottle of the Walmart dupe is 1.5 cents per ounce. And doing the math, we see that the OG is almost 3 times as expensive. Does it taste 3 times better? Let's find out. In addition to the cola, we're going to repeat the same experiment with Sprite. It's the same price difference. OG first. Now the OG. Coca-Cola's is definitely more fizzy, but in terms of flavors, I can't really taste the difference. Alright, now let's try Sprite. Again, more fizzy, but taste-wise, they're almost the same. My opinion, should you buy the OG? Hell no!
Alright, Anakin, what is your Star Wars hot take? Jar Jar Binks played a big role in wrecking the entire galaxy. He's the one that proposed the emergency powers. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
How many rolls of toilet paper would it take us? I'm gonna put toilet paper lined up here. I'm gonna shoot it with higher and higher
Oh no, toilet hasn't been.
Oh no, toilet.
caliber bullets all the way up to a 50 cal.
Oh no!
It takes to stop each round. Good luck, Fred. Starting out with a 22.
Oh no, Fred!
Oh no.
But the bullet went in right here and it stopped in the back of our third roll. Next up, 380. But the bullet entered right here and it stopped in roll number 6. Next up, 9 mil. Our bullet entered right here and it made it through 7 rolls and stopped on the outside of number 8. Next up, 45 ACP. Our bullet went through 4 rolls and stopped right here in our 5th. Fred's okay. Moving up to the revolver, shooting around a 44 Magnum. Brad, the 44 Magnum put toilet paper all over the place and it got stuck right here in the middle of number 8. Moving up to the Desert Eagle, shooting around a 50 AE. The Desert Eagle made it through 16 rolls of toilet paper and landed right here. Moving up to the AR, shooting around a 223. But the 223 made it through 12 rolls and stopped right here. Moving up to the 30-06, firing. The bullets hit toilet paper everywhere. It made it to number 15 and then veered off. Fred's okay. Last up, I got the 50 cal. Fred, with the 50 cal, ripped through 18 rolls and then veered off, barely missing Fred.
Fred survives.
Yeah.
Leave.
Okay, this is not the right one.
Oh.
I
For paper.
am on paper.
Leave.
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 Nine?
For paper.
Aye for paper.
Nine for paper.
Aye for paper.
Poker.
Poker.
Craft paper.
Craft paper.
Craft paper.
I used to have one of those games. Or
Oh,
like Dollar Store games. Like Tetris or something, right?
yeah. Wood.
Every.
Oh my god.
Leaf. Biscuit.
Biscuit. And that's a cracker. Poker.
I for paper.
I for paper.
Not paper. Craft paper. Wood. Biscuit. Leaf.
Leaf.
Tin foil. Craft paper. One.
What? One.
Two. Three. Four. Five.
Oh my god.
Six. One. Tissue. Poker. I for paper. Not paper. Craft paper. Wood. Tissue.
Level 1. 0.1 second.
Tissue. I for paper.
I for paper.
Right?
Yeah.
Not paper.
I like how I just flick the ace of spades.
Yeah.
Craft paper. Wood.
Jesus.
Emery.
Henry.
Leaf. Leaf. One. Leaf. Leaf. Tin foil.
0.1 second.
Jesus. There ain't gonna be anything left.
0.1 second. 0.1 second. 0.5.
Leaf. Poker.
0.1.
Leaf. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes. No reaction.
Yes?
What do you say?
Jesus. Throw it in the cookerator.
Hey, monkey.
Look at how funny.
Why didn't we have water guns like this when we was growing up?
Can I guess the color of...
I'm in no danger of dying in this video game. But you are. Just keep dying out here, bro.
You're no danger of dying in this video game.
Eating every
No
slice of
danger.
pizza until I can figure out which one's actually cake. This is stuffed crust, so I'm not sure if that's gonna make it easier or harder to find it. That is not cake. Let's go for slice 2. Slice 3. Not cake. Slice 4. It's not cake.
Y'all are gonna watch this.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. This is Running on MP. Food review. Well, ladies and gentlemen, happy 4th of July. That's at least the date that I'm filming this, and that's when I hope to get this up. It's the late afternoon, early evening of 4th of July. I can actually smell kind of the charcoal from barbecues in the air. It's a nice, comfortable afternoon. I got Popeyes.
Like this.
Yeah.
There was no one there. I was the only person that went and got Popeyes, so I don't know. I guess everyone already got their Popeyes, because that's what everyone eats on the 4th of July. But I wanted to get this item done. I originally wanted to review this item last Sunday. I just wasn't feeling well that day, understandably, and I had to put it off. So I decided, well, alright, I'm going to get it taken care of today. They're still open as far as I understand. So that's what I decided to do, and that's where we stand right now. So today's review is for the Popeyes Cheddar Biscuit Butterfly Shrimp. And they release these every so often, the Butterfly Shrimp. And admittedly, this is one of my favorite items from Popeyes. I mean, it just is. They always do these so nicely. I always usually rate these highly, and this is one of my favorite things from Popeyes, so I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, I remember these butterfly shrimp, they just have a certain way with it, where they're just able to have it so tender. It's always so good, and I'm always looking forward when they ever release a new type of butterfly shrimp, because I usually know when it comes to Popeyes, even though the chicken has kind of gone down the hill a bit, usually they still manage to do these butterfly shrimp pretty good, so I kind of got some high hopes for this one. Now this is their cheddar biscuit butterfly shrimp, okay? This is your standard butterfly cut shrimp, though it does have a little bit of butterfly meat, around 8% or so in there. It also has a cheddary biscuit coating. So I guess it's supposed to have the biscuit-like to maybe have a little bit of a butteriness and breadcrumb type of coating. And then the cheddar, of course, have a little bit of cheesiness to it as well. So that's the unique thing about this, the coating, the cheddar biscuit coating. They only sell it in a meal, of course. It seems to be standard procedure now from Popeyes. And well, they only sell it in a meal in a little box like so. You know, you can see it there. And you have to get this with a side. I got it with fries. It also comes with a biscuit and...
I'm back.
Yeah.
You there, Jesse?
Yeah.
and some new sauce of theirs. Some ghost pepper jelly sauce. I always kind of shake my head when it comes to these ghost pepper sauces. It's a joke, you know. They're not actually going to put any ghost pepper in it. You'd be dying, truth be told. So it's just in a name, but I guess it's supposed to have a little bit of a spice to it anyway. Here's the box. You can see in all its box-like glory. There it is. There's me kind of looking at the box rather inquisitively. You can see in it fries, some of the shrimp buried underneath, said fries, and there's a biscuit right over there.
This is for biscuit, right?
Yeah.
Biscuit.
Yep.
So you can see everything's included. It's, you know, a nice little selection of fatty foods, and this is available for the price of $5. Alright. Well, I guess we'll just try the shrimp first. Now, you could eat all of the shrimp, mind you. This is an interesting thing about these. You could even eat the tail, too. That's one thing that I find interesting about Popeye's shrimp. But anyway, I'm just going to try them. I'm going to eat them plain first, and then I'll try them. After I give an initial assessment, I'll try them with the sauce. And we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to this. It is the cheddar biscuit. I think that's what it's called, right? I want to make sure. Yep, the cheddar biscuit butterfly shrimp from Popeyes going in.
Wait for it. You know it's coming, right?
Yep. Say the line, Bart.
Dude, Brock's going through the 5 stages of grief in like real time.
Yeah.
Acceptance, right?
Yeah.
Not quite an acceptance. Acceptance is what he's on. Can't see any waterfront. Here
Yeah.
it is.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
He said the line.
For those of you who don't,
I mean, kill that freaking bar gif. Like, that was throw that huge bar gif in the chat. You know what, right?
Yeah.
You said.
the line. Anyway. Get the McDonald. Alright. McDonald. I guess what we learned tonight. What we learned tonight is that while a lot of movies are definitely worthy of review, a lot of others are just painfully mid. Painfully mid that they practically put us to the point of zero commentary. Yeah. Well, anyway, come back tomorrow night when we leave McDonald's bathroom after smearing shit all over the walls, but will I elaborate further? Nope. Because I said enough. But for now, that's all the time we have for tonight. But always remember, eat your cereal. Go to bed. To be continued. God made you special and loves you very much. If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Good night, and McDonald. Have a day. McDonald. Why did Soup return? Is he stoic? Have a day.